Hello, everybody. What's up? It's Brittany Hiller here, and we are coming into part 3 of our saga. Ooh. So, where we left off, right, was house fire, how we came through, marriage, all that good stuff. Now we are on to 2012 and beyond, and how visualization began to play a role in our character Brittany's life. So, let's find out how it worked. Part 3, when visualization began to play a role. We left off with Brittany getting married and rebuilding a home. It was nearly 2012 now. Once 2012 hit, she successfully completed her yoga teacher training, had her license in massage therapy, and was well on her way to beginning a life of implementing the two modalities she desired to use since she was a teenager, sharing wellness with others through yoga and massage. Then, as she was completing her YTT 200, that's her yoga teacher training, 200 hours, she was hit with what we discussed in our first part as from the firing, right? The firing. That's what we discussed the first part. So, yes. She had simply made her way into the next to last day of her teacher training and was on her way to being a fresh candidate for the dreaded moment in training where everyone would give their honest opinion of how she was showing up as a teacher. So in yoga teacher training, they do this thing, or at least at the time that I was going through yoga teacher training, we had this moment where everybody would sit around and tell us about what it is that they saw us. So they were giving their honest feedback. They saw us how we were portraying ourselves as teachers. And so imagine how stressful that would be, right? So here they're going to give their honest opinion of how she was showing up in her teaching. It was rather nerve-wracking to say the least. Yet, when she opened the studio that day, one of her friends and fellow yoga teacher and trainees came to her with a curious wonder. Brittany, I'm so sorry to hear that you're no longer the manager. What? My. What a huge surprise to Brittany. As all she had heard recently was that the schedule of responsibilities would no longer be hers. Dumbfounded and still in a cloud, knowing that she was about to take a wild ride of hearing honest feedback from all of her colleagues, she went on with her duties that day as if nothing happened, as if she didn't even hear that information. Post her stressful experience during YTT, she was then told that she would no longer teach regularly on the schedule and that she would be placed on the substitute list. Dun dun dun. But, she thought, I am receiving a yoga teacher training. I am a yoga teacher after this weekend, so what on earth am I going to do with it? Flash forward a few weeks after, and she was laying in Shavasana, that's her final relaxation pose, on her back porch. Right back there, actually. And she heard amongst the birds chirping in a tiny whisper in her mind say, outdoor yogini. Oh my god. Yes. I have the ability to teach others anywhere I want. So I'll go outside and I'll teach, she thought. I'll hold classes in the park or on the beach, and I'll let people know via Facebook where I'm going to be at, and I'll share with my friends. And if people want to practice indoors, I'll gladly invite them to go to yoga studio that just demoted her, because why not? She created her Facebook business page in 2012. Now, not really thinking that it was a business page, instead thinking it was just a hobby that she was going to do. And she thought nothing about it. However, she began envisioning people in her classes and coming outside and playing with her, practicing and letting her teach them. And she began reading a lot of Dr. Wayne Dyer at the time, especially his book about erroneous zones, and became more in tune with how she wanted to feel each day and who she wanted to attract to come to her classes specifically. Who was her ideal client to play with outside? She was doing more with herself as a new yoga teacher than she was able to do inside that studio that placed her on the sub list. Tune in with our final chapter, how Brittany wrapped it all into a landing pad she now calls EYS, Effervescence Yoga Spa. My friends, until then, I'll see you soon. Have a great night.